This story that I'm about to tell you is so important because I really don't want you guys to make this mistake. And I see so many people making the same mistake. And I'm going to tell you a story. So the heaviest I was prior to this, and this is a couple years ago, it's probably like 10 years ago at this point. But the heaviest I was before that point was 205 pounds. That was the heaviest I've ever gotten. So I wanted to gain more muscle and I wanted to kind of blow past that. So I set out a goal to really bulk up and add lean muscle until I got to past that point. So the heaviest I got at that point, this is 10 years ago, was 216 pounds. And at that weight, I was very uncomfortable. I hated the way I looked because I just put on, you put on muscle and you put on body fat too. And I was past my body fat set point at that point. I just feeling uncomfortable. And for those of you that have bulked seriously before, know exactly what I'm talking about. You don't feel as muscular. You just feel like gross. You're like, I don't like the way I look at all. Like you're almost embarrassed to take your shirt off at that point. So I'm 216 now at this point. I'm uncomfortable. And I hit the goal. I said, okay, I wanted to be 10 pounds heavier than my heaviest. And I was 11 pounds heavier. So I hit 216. I was like, perfect. I've put on a lot of muscle at this point. I'm done. So what I did was I dieted right away. And when I did that, this is where the mistake comes in. Any muscle that I've gained during that last probably 4 to 5 months, because I quickly transitioned to a diet phase right away, I lost all that muscle. So it was almost like pushing past that 205 mark was a complete waste of time because I lost all that muscle that I gained during that process.
You wasted time.
Because I didn't do this one thing that I'm going to tell you. The moral of this story is you always have to break new levels. You have to do that because it's the only way you're going to force muscle on your frame. And your body just becomes resistant to that at some point. And I'm using myself as an example here. So 205 was at that moment in time the heaviest I've ever been. So I had to break past that plateau. So for you, it might be different. Maybe that's 180. Maybe that's 220. I don't know where you're at, but it's the same kind of thing. You have to break past that point. So you break past that point, you break new ground, and you do put on muscle. Like I was taking pictures week after week, and you could see big differences in my physique. So I was doing good, right? That was good. The problem was I hit that body, like the uncomfortable point, and I just transitioned really quickly. So when you go from eating, 5,000 calories every day to cutting it back right away to your dieting numbers of like 3,500, or even 4,000 at that point, that's a significant drop. And you're just going to lose all that muscle that you put on because that tissue is newly built. So what you have to do is, this is the correct way to do it. So you break that plateau, you push yourself past a new limit where you're comfortable, again, breaking past that point. And you have to hold the peak weight for 4 weeks at the minimum, all the way up to 8 weeks at the maximum. And the reason why you have to hold that weight is because you have to reset your body's new standards. You have to hold that weight and let your body know, hey, be accustomed to holding this amount of muscle because I want to retain this muscle. Get used to holding this. Because if you just do what I did and just, hit a new point, diet. Big mistake because my body didn't hold on to that tissue and I dieted and my body's like, you don't need to hold on to this tissue now. The calories are low. Just get rid of it. It's new anyway. It's not necessary. So you have to hold it. Then what you do is once you hold it between that 4 and 8 week mark, what you have to do is you have to slowly chip away at those calories. So let's say, for argument's sake, it took me 5,500 calories to get to that new level, right? A day, which sucks, but that's the way my metabolism works. So 5,500 calories a day. Now, when I start to diet, if I just drop that 5,500 to 3,500, that's a 2,000 calorie deficit every day. That's bad because now my body's going to go into crazy mode. Remember, your metabolism evolves and adjusts with your calorie level. So at that point, when I was gaining at 5,500, that was kind of like, okay, I'm in a gaining phase. If I was to just take away 500 calories from that and be at 5,000, I would still be probably at maintenance or even lose a little bit at that point because my calorie level kind of reset. So you have to do the same thing. So you're slowly going to chip away at that. So the right way to do it would have been hit 216, hold it for another 4 to 8 weeks, enjoy being in the season of being uncomfortable because that's exactly what it is. It's a season, right? It's a season of just being uncomfortable. Hold that weight, kind of try to like recomp, hold the weight, like, try to get a little leaner without losing weight, like try to hold that weight the right way, okay? Then you do that. Now you say, okay, I'm ready to transition. I diet, but chip away at it slowly. So if I hold that weight at 5,500 calories and that's my maintenance, I chip away and I maybe drop it to 5,300. And I ride that out as much as I can until I hit a plateau. Chip away again, ride away as much as I can, and keep repeating this process until you get down as lean as you want to be. And hypothetically, in this case, if you did it correctly, you should net more muscle this way. And again, because you gave yourself so much time to hold the weight and to hold the muscle, it's going to stick around a lot easier. Plus, now you get the added benefit of dieting on higher calories, which is always nice. And remember also, when you're heavier like this, in my case, when I was 216, I needed more calories to be able to sustain that amount of muscle mass that I was carrying around. Most people forget that. So I have more calories now because I'm retaining more muscle. I need more carbs now because there's more muscle and glycogen to fill out my frame. So you need more calories. So slowly chip away at that until you reach the body fat that you're comfortable with. And that's what you have to do. Like I said, the problem is I see most people making the same mistake I did. You hit a new peak weight and you diet right away because you can't take the level of body fat you're at. That's normal. But like I said, you have to kind of embrace the fluffiness during that season. You have to. And just hold the weight, let your body resettle, let it be able to say, okay, this is my new maintenance, this is where I'm at, and then you start chipping away. And by doing that, you'll definitely net more muscle. So don't make the same mistake I did. Try to avoid that mistake. Try to maintain all that new muscle tissue that you have. So what was the biggest mistake that you ever made during your fitness journey? I'm so curious what other mistakes that some guys have made. So let me know in the comments below. And because you made it this far in the video, I got a free gift for you. I have a free 6-week training program that I want to give you. No strings attached. I just want to help you gain more muscle and not make the same mistakes I made along my 20-year journey. All right. Mistakes like this. So this was Anthony, AB Fitness. I'll catch you guys on the next one.